So first, I'd just like to thank and acknowledge Bishop Green, Supervisor Green. Want to thank all the presiding elders and pastors that are here today. I want to thank Reverend Boyer, obviously, for the introduction and support early on when folks wasn't supporting. So I thank you and Salvation and Social Justice. Obviously, I got to acknowledge Reverend Slaughter here with us in the city of Newark, who's been an incredible friend to us in Newark and around the state of New Jersey at the same time. He didn't have to do that. And I deeply appreciate it. Listen, I feel like I already won. And the reason I say that because, I feel like this little black boy from Avon and 14th Street, hanging out in front of Yusef's Steak and Take, get to go to Toms River and Huntington County and Cumberland County and go all the way up to Warren County and talk to people from Montville, New Jersey, and talk to people in rooms that don't look like this about me being the governor of the state of New Jersey. If you would have told me I was doing that when I was a boy, I would have thought you was crazy. There's some days I wake up and still think I'm crazy. But God has a way of making your things bigger than what you imagine. And so me being in the race and I'm able to talk to these people at the level that we are at now, I feel like I already won, which is why I'm a little loose in these events that we go to. I'm not as stressed as I probably should be, or as tense as I normally would be, because I feel like I wasn't supposed to be in there anyway, that I'm in there because of favor. Right? That's the God's honest truth. That I feel like it is all you perform so well in debate, because I'm just talking regular. The minute I start thinking about this stuff, it's going to get too much for me. Right? I'm just talking regular, and I'm saying what I'm reading, what I'm thinking from my heart. And the reality is, nobody would have thought that we would be in this position, but we are. The polls said, the FDU polls came out and said we are the most known Democrat in the state. Our favorability was higher than everybody else in the race. That the recent poll came out had us only a point and a half or 2 points behind the leading candidate, which is Councilman Sherrill's, but a point and a half is in the realm of the margin of error, which is 3 or 4 points, which means that we are in a dead heat. And they've spent more than twice, some of them 3 times the amount of money that we spent because they got it. Some candidates spent $18 million, $10 million, and they cannot pass me. Right? So there are people behind me who started a year before me and spent $15, $16, $17 million, and we're still in the lead. I say, but God. We're still in the lead, which means that we got to do our part. And I always tell Roundtree, I'm going to take care of the possible, and let God take care of the impossible. I'm going to take care of everything I can see, so I'm going to do my part. I'm going to show up and speak and be prepared and dress nice and talk right. And do everything that in the material sense, I'm going to let God take care of everything I can't see. All the difficulties that are ahead. And I promise, I said my prayers are different, because in the beginning, it was different than now. Today, I just pray that I get through it, right? Because I feel like once we get to the end, we win. That anything that happens at this point glorifies God, and it took us further than we even imagined that we could go. At this point, we are really primed to win the primary. Like, it's really possible. It's interesting to go around the state and people come up to you and say, you can win this race. I say, yeah, I know. They say, this can happen for you. I say, yeah, this can. We really have a chance to do this in an environment where these people are hitting us every day. They're taking the floor right from under us. Taking black leaders off of federal websites. Attacking companies for DEI, snatching, Medicare from folks under their feet, making it difficult for veterans, and threatening people's Social Security, and threatening to close the Department of Education. Nobody would have ever thought we would be in this situation that we're in today. We knew it would be bad, we just didn't know it would be this bad. That all these things are happening, so now more than ever we need leadership. And we need leadership for people who see us, as Reverend Boyer said, because there are people who go in office and they see people, they just don't see us. And so we go and vote for harm reduction. We vote for the people to do us the less harm. And we don't vote for people who are going to support us outright. And so we go vote and leave 3 people in our house. You know y'all do that. Because you're not inspired to go vote yourself. You're doing it out of obligation. You're doing it because your mama made you go vote when you was a kid, so you still voting. And we're doing it out of obligation because we know historically we should be doing that. But the 3 people in our house are home, and we can't inspire them to vote because we have to be inspired to vote. And so they stay home, so 500,000 less of us voted for Kamala Harris than voted for Joe Biden. And us, Democrats, over 1 million less voted for Phil Murphy when he ran. And they still won. The reality is we can go get those voters. We can go get those people. If they have somebody that represents them, that they're excited about, that gives them inspiration and hope, they'll come out of their house and go vote on their own. They'll be excited, they'll put them sneakers on and go to those polls. Wow, wait for me, I'm coming with you. That's what we need. We need that to happen, especially in this time. That's why I was so proud of what Cory Booker did, right? I was so proud. I was so excited, so happy when I started doing that. People want somebody to say something, do something, like we didn't slap in the face. Somebody got to slap somebody now. Something's going on. Somebody got to say something. He got up and did that for 25 hours. I was so encouraged by that, right? And I was encouraged by it, and it also was from New Jersey, which made it even better. He came out swinging, and I like that. I appreciate that. And this is what this race is going to be about. So I don't want to hold you, but we need your support. We need your support. It's a very dangerous time we are in. And I don't have much. All I have is a rock and a rag. And I don't have a huge sword and a whole bunch of armor, but we fight a giant, and all I got is a rock and a rag and a couple of smooth stones. That's really all I need. But what I take from that is that we're going to use those stones to knock these people down in size. When we knock them down to eye level, then we're going to take the very weapon they was going to use to do us and do them with that very weapon. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to win this race because we have no other choice but to win. Because it's written that we should win. And people, they look at me and they say, they confuse my confidence with arrogance, and you go into these places, you talk the way you talk, you walk the way you walk. The reality is the rooms I'm going in, the ticket was paid for years before I got there. Somebody bought that ticket for me to be in that room way before the room got set up. Before y'all opened the door, put the tables in there, somebody's blood, sweat, and tears gave me the right to be in that room a long time before y'all opened up these doors. So when I'm in this room, I think about my mama who told me I was born on the same day as Paul Robeson. She told me that all the rooms that were created, you're supposed to be in them. And your legacy is designed so that you lead in the way that you're leading right now. So I'm not afraid. People go, aren't you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. I'm worried, but I'm not afraid. I'm scared, but I'm not afraid. I pray that God don't turn my fear into cowardice. He didn't give me that spirit, right? He gave me a spirit to move forward, to fight my enemies, to be in the front, right? Because I know when I'm in rooms with my enemies that God shows up. I know that because he promised to me that he'd make a table for me in their presence. So in their presence, I rejoice. I get happy because I know God's going to start working once my enemies walk in the room. So when it's just my friends, I might get a little nervous. When my enemies start walking in the door, I say, it's going to happen now. It's going to go on right now. This is going to go on right now. And I get excited for my enemies show up because I know a table will be prepared for people. More importantly, he said that he would make them my footstool, so my elevation is based on them. That I can't go higher unless they show up. I can't go higher unless they come around. So when they start talking about me, putting out newsletters about me, picking me from all areas, I say, we about to win. Make sure if they're not paying attention to me, I might be a little nervous, but now they're putting stuff out about me, I know we're getting ready to win. I know when I go speak and they show up in the room, they ask questions and try to cause confusion and chaos and fear. I say, I'm going to win. Because God is going to make these people my footstool. And what they do, they elevate me. And the great thing about elevating me is we elevate us. And that's what this is about. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you. I'm completely and incredibly honored and humbled to be able to speak at this convention, conference with you guys. I really, really am. I have a lot of respect, obviously, for the AME Church. I have a lot of respect for Richard Allen and Absalom Jones, for sure, and the work that they did, because in my mind, I understand that we don't have to wait for people to introduce us to God. That James Paul is saying that most of these people found the cross through the Bible, but we found the Bible through the cross. That our journey in this country is proof that God is alive and real. The things that we've been doing and gone through is proof. We don't have to wait for somebody to introduce us to a higher power. We knew God existed in the backwoods of Mississippi on a stuff, praying in a language we didn't even know. We knew He existed when we tied rice in our hair and put cornbread in our pocket to keep the dogs away while we were eating on the journey here. We knew God existed when we packed chicken and cornbread and shoeboxes on the train because we couldn't stop at Denny's to make sure we ate when we got to this place. We knew God existed when the Klan was burning crosses on our lawn, when they was lynching our brothers and sisters and our neighbors. We knew God existed when we had to set up our own fraternities and sororities and Masonic temples. We knew God existed because they've been always on our back and always on our neck, their breath in our ear, and the only thing that saved us is when we yelled God's name. To God be the glory. We knew that our only salvation lied in God, so we believed because of the cross. We bore the cross our entire lives, and our parents' entire lives, and their parents' entire lives. So we don't need anybody to tell us that God was real. When we got on our knees and cried, God gave us Nat Turner. He gave us Newark, BC. He gave us Gabriel Prosper and Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and on and on and on and on and on. So I'm excited about the journey I'm on. I'm very, very excited about it. I just pray that I do everything that I need to do to get to the place that I need to get to, right? That I do it right, that I do it perfectly. And I have the support from my friends and my family and my community. So God bless you. God keep you.